You let the rapper jump you,
Yeah.
and you a killer.
Yeah.
And you gotta kill him.
Oh shit. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, almost 100 people died last night, man.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck, man?
Well, first of all right, let's get it out the way. Let's get this out of the way first. All right. I don't condone uh 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 innocent people being killed under any circumstance. I don't condone what's been termed in America as mass shootings. I don't condone unnecessary violence, right? But and I preface my statements with that because I often am a person that falls into the category of, is this more than a coincidence?
As far as
Because
like the setup or the timing or
the timing. Because did you watch the Democratic debates?
I didn't. I heard
Tulsi Gabbard and
no, what's his
Kamala
name?
Harris.
What's the vice president name?
Not Mike Pence. Mike Pence.
Mike Pence is yeah, that's the vice president. Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
He told motherfuckers to call Mike Jones number
Yeah.
8004.
Look, so what I'm saying is there are several Democratic candidates are running on the platform of gun control and gun confiscation, right?
Yeah.
At any time, what I noticed is anytime that is something brewing in politics that got to do with guns,
Guns come out.
the package of guns comes out.
Yeah.
Like we don't know. As far as what the media is telling us, that's all we know as far as what happens.
So my thing is there was a mass shooting in El Paso, Texas. There was a mass shooting in Dayton, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
But 7 people got shot in Chicago. Like, why was that not a mass shooting in Douglas Park?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if 4 people get hit, it's considered a mass shooting. But 4 people get hit at a time every weekend in Chicago in the summertime.
Yep.
And it's never called a mass shooting. There's never a lone wolf shooter. It's just
Some stuff that happened in Chirac.
yeah.
I think that's because as far as the if there is an agenda, as far as the coverage of such things,
like they have, I guess what they have no control over Chicago is
Mhm.
what they're saying.
mm-hmm.
Like Chicago is just
like that's just Chicago.
that's Chicago.
Just
that's
like you
gonna
see
happen in Chicago.
the prison riot in Brazil where 16 people get decapitated and like 60 people die.
and that's just Brazil.
That's just Brazil.
Because Brazil is that fucking crazy.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we went I didn't go. I wish I would have went. My uncle went to Brazil to perform.
And get
You
you
know
a
what I'm
goddamn $25 holla. Yo, man, I digress.
Hey, I definitely would.
Yeah,
You know. But he
that's
was
without
like,
question.
he went to the favela. He didn't go to the favela, but he was like riding around past it.
Yeah.
And he let's say this motherfuckers on the back of pickup trucks with bullhorns. Talking about some rocks, blow.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's that kind. It's a big rich town.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Can you see how much time we got left? I'm gonna take a look.
Yeah, man. So yeah, it's messed up that Chicago is just like, oh yeah, that's gonna happen. It's the murder capital, but we're not the murder capital. Who is the murder capital? Is it New Orleans right now still, or is it Baltimore?
I don't know who got it right now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a great thing right there, though.
Mhm.
That right there, my brother, is a beautiful thing. To not glorify the murder capital.
Mhm.
Because when New Orleans had it, it was cash money, no limit, murder capital, murder capital, murder capital.
Yeah.
Chicago had it, Twister, do or die, murder capital, murder capital. Now you don't know who has the murder capital.
Yeah.
I don't know either. But also, I didn't know anything about dude with the Tupac Must Die video. So
Yeah.
maybe I'm just out the loop. But maybe we are getting past this whole 90s hip hop era.
Mhm.
I mean, it took 20 years for white people to be the murderers again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's been a long time that black on black crime. and those thugs in the projects and this and that, and everybody was all
That's
those black
that
guys are
stereotype.
killers.
Yeah.
Now, 20 years after Jay-Z said, "Take the jersey off, put the button up on."
The white man is got the gun again.
Yeah. You
So
know,
what I wanted to ask is, how come we still haven't made it to the point where we asking what makes you shoot? Like only thing we seeing is somebody shot.
because I feel like there's two kinds of people. Like there's the people who have a lot of guns,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and there's like discipline with the guns, you
Yeah.
know, and then there's people that have never shot a gun,
Yeah.
like me, you know. So me, I mean, I know guys that have shot guns and have guns,
Mm-hmm.
and they all tell me the same thing. I would never give you a gun.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just because that's who they see me as. It's like, if you got a gun, you wouldn't argue. You wouldn't raise your voice at all. You know what I'm saying? You would just handle it and get it done.
See, I
know?
think that, and I would argue, I know you better than most of those people.
Mm-hmm.
I would absolutely give you a gun just so you can go in the range and shoot it.
See, and that's the thing. It wouldn't be because guns aren't for going to the range and shooting them.
Mm-hmm.
Guns are for personal protection.
No, I
So
understand
these
that.
are people who don't really need personal protection,
Mhm.
and that goes back to what we were saying earlier
Mhm.
about the overemphasis on being an individual
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
what's it called, this economic, what's our economy, capitalist
Yeah.
economy. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, in order for capitalism to work, you really have to believe that you're John and I'm Elton.
Right.
And
right.
we're not both just black men. Like, you're John. And what makes
I'm
you John?
somebody. Yeah.
Well, what makes you John is your watch and your
Mhm,
hat and your
mhm.
wristbands. What makes me Elton is my hat and my shirt and my shoes. And I have to be different from you because I'm Elton.
Right.
You know
'Cause
what I'm
I
saying?
am an individual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's so stupid.
Yes,
Like,
it is.
You don't need personal protection. You know what I'm saying? Because who the fuck are you?
Mhm.
Why do people want to come kill you?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And these are the people that like write these manifestos. Like, this motherfucker might have wrote a comment on somebody's video on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
and then just got into this heated debate with some black dude from Oakland who was like, "Man, you stupid. Like, you're really being irrational
You
right
being
now.
a dumb
Stop
dummy."
stop
Yeah.
being a dumb dummy.
Mm-hmm.
This is what's really going on in Oakland." And then he might have got a comment from Massachusetts somewhere. "This is what's going on in Massachusetts. How can you say that coming from where you're coming from?" And then he was just like, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm feeling offended now. I'm gonna go out and, you know what I'm saying." And then he fuck around and turned on the Vic Mensa video and seen the white babies in the cages.
See, and
And it
that's
was like, okay, this is enough.
that's
Like,
why I
these
advocate.
motherfuckers are hitting me from different angles. I'm gonna hit them with actual bullets.
See, this is why I often advocate for gun education, and this is why I say I would like for you to shoot a gun inside a range in a controlled environment because
You heard him. Y'all heard him.
mm-hmm.
If y'all still listening this far into the podcast, I want y'all to leave a comment,
Mm-hmm.
and I want y'all to set a date for this man to take me to the gun range.
Mm-hmm.
I have never shot a gun a day in my life. I've never held
Yeah.
an actual gun. I've held a BB gun. I've never shot any kind of gun a day in my life.
So for me, the reason
So I need y'all to tell him when to take me to
leave it in the
shot.
comments.
Leave it in the comments.
So the reason why I say that is because I know for me, the shooting a gun, aiming a gun, having intent when pointed at a target,
Mhm.
when you are able to experience that before experiencing a threat, it
Yeah.
changes your whole mind state of the operation of this machine.
All right. I see that. So, like, what you're saying is, knowing how powerful a gunshot is,
Mm-hmm.
you can decide whether this is a gunshot situation or a kick to the knee situation.
Exactly, because by me having had that experience, shooting someone is
Would
my
be
worst nightmare.
Having to shoot someone.
Having to shoot a person
Yeah.
is my worst nightmare because I know what I'm doing to your body. I know what this gun is
Yeah.
doing,
See,
and I
but
know how
now-
loud it is.
But now I feel like what you just said is very important.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're doing to my body.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you're the person that understands your body way better than you did 10 years ago.
True.
So, as that guy, as the guy that gave up the meat
Mhm.
and gave up the you know, you go on these fasts and you do this healthy stuff and you go to the gym every day. You understand the human body more than somebody who goes to the McDonald's next door to the gun shop
Right.
in Kentucky,
Right.
or somebody who lives across the street from the KFC next to the gun store.
Well, I
You know,
don't
and
know.
and they putting this poison in their body, which resonates with
It is
the
sound body,
bullshit.
sound mind.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
true.
It resonates with the bullshit on TV. So now you see, oh man, you heard about dude? I think it was in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Got his ass whooped for wearing a MAGA hat.
Yeah,
Had the big
yeah, I
old black
did.
eye.
I did.
You know
I
what I'm
saw
saying?
it.
Like you see that on the news.
Uh-huh.
Then you see these criminals coming in from over the border. You know what I'm saying? Then you see Trump wasting his time where they said Rocky, and you're like, oh man, why are they winning? I feel like they're winning.
See, I think programming works both ways.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you putting bullshit in your body,
Mhm.
you're putting bullshit in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, you're gonna react a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And what you're saying is once you shoot a gun, you understand how powerful it is and you appreciate the human body for what it is.
It's like
more.
it's like fatherhood, right? We had this conversation before. I'll never understand the concept of me and my baby. I never understand picking some food up out my baby's slobbering mouth and eating it until I have a baby. It's just different. I never understand it until I go through that experience.
Yeah.
And I think it's not so much the gun, but the experience that creates people that are better in society because we're seeing the results of a conditioning,
But now
not the results
I
of
would-
using a weapon.
I would like to know. This is probably impossible to ever find out.
Okay.
But I would like to know the percentage of mass shooters or domestic terrorists who went to a gun range before they committed their act of domestic terrorism.
Now, I know like McVeigh, he was trained.
Yeah, right.
Tim McVeigh was trained.
The guy from Thousand Oaks in whatchamacallit. Like, there's a lot of them that are ex-military.
See, but you know, they train with a certain agenda in mind.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's and this conversation is just going to prove the point. I'm not trying to prove a point, but it's going towards the fact that what's happening is not access to firearms, but a mentality as a side effect or a byproduct of living in capitalist society.
Yeah. Because it's not, because just like in England,
Mm-hmm.
like in England, you fuck around and get stabbed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They put forth legislation to outlaw kitchen knives.
Yeah. In Australia, that's not a knife. This is a knife. You know what I'm saying?
Exactamundo.
Like, if you don't have guns, you're still going to use something.
Right. People
Like-
gonna be killing each other with spoons if they got to.
Like, I be at work, you know what I'm saying? And I be thinking about it, like, man, if a motherfucker want to run up back here, I'm hitting them in the head with this fire extinguisher.
Yeah, you're not thinking
You know what
I'm
I'm
gonna
saying?
shoot this motherfucker.
I
You
don't have
gonna-
a gun.
Right. You're gonna
You know what I'm
defend
saying?
yourself.
Yeah. If you run back here and you're trying to get at me with a weapon in your hand, I'm going to hit you in the head with the fire extinguisher and then extinguish your ass.
It's just like my
So I can
pops.
drag you out and
I was-
lock the door.
I was talking to my pops yesterday, and he was talking about a dispute he had with somebody that he made a bet with that didn't want to pay him. You know, so it went from, you know, just talking shit, oh, you scared, you didn't want to pay me, you knew you, into, you know, a more heavier conversation, right? So my pops is like, man, I was finna beat this motherfucker up, right? Now, this is a young boy, and I'm like, all right, Pop, you can't be putting yourself in that position
Yeah.
because they don't understand fighting the way that we understand it.
Yeah.
Like, for them, shooting is the first resort.
Yeah.
Fighting is the last resort.
Like, if you knock this gun out my hand,
I'm going to have to fight you.
yeah. That's so
Like, the
stupid,
only
man.
time fighting is the first resort is when it's a jump.
Yeah. It's 7 of us, and I don't like the way you said
Yeah,
something.
it's the fabric of America, not the Constitution, not the gun manufacturers. That's wrong.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Truthfully speaking,
Okay.
if we got into it
Mm-hmm.
with somebody, and I was definitely handling it,
Mm-hmm.
would you jump in?
Well, like if you was fighting somebody and you was getting the best of them,
Yeah.
no, fuck, I'm gonna jump in for it.
All
I'm gonna
right.
make sure don't nobody else jump in.
Yeah.
That's what
See,
you supposed to
Cause
do.
that's that bitch ass shit.
Yeah.
When a motherfucker got it and your guy is
I'm gonna make
in
sure.
there,
I'm gonna make
like,
sure that you don't disrespect the man. Like I'm gonna make sure you don't kick him
you
in the
gonna make
face
sure
or
I
no
don't
shit.
kick him in the
Right.
face. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure once he's beat, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make sure don't nobody else jump in.
I think that right there needs to be in the commercial.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like this is the family value shit that we talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Like when you put your feet on a motherfucker, that means you ready to kill him if you need to.
Yeah, man, I seen a video. Ooh, see this video, of this little light skinned dude in New York. Like they was into it on the train. He spit in dude's face, right?
I seen the thumbnail for that.
And then he like dude was like sitting there trying to fucking Incredible Hulk the door,
Mhm.
and he got the door wide enough. Clear shot, spitting, bah, even bigger spit in the face. At that point, it was just like,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah, you know what
fucked
time it
dude
is.
up.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about laid him out.
You gonna get exactly what
Motherfuckers-
you deserve.
Like motherfuckers coming up running and shit to stop him.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude holding the camera's like, no, he's spitting his face. Hey, you spitting his face. He gets that.
Yeah. That was the only time I ever put my hands on a female. She spit in my face. Oh, it was over with. I was seeing black.
Yeah, it don't matter. Like, I don't care what you are.
Yeah.
You
Like
could
you,
be 7 or 70. If you spit on me
it's on.
purposely,
I'm fucking you up.
I remember one time we was walking out the Boulevard Manor.
Uh-huh.
We was going to like Charo or something, and a car came by,
Mhm.
and dude just so happened to spit out the
All
window.
right, I remember this.
And he like spit on my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was, I was heated, but that could have been accidental.
You had to check yourself because
Uh,
you don't know. You don't know.
It could have just been a motherfucker spitting out the window, and I just so
Yeah.
happened to be there. He might have said, "Ooh,"
Because
my
I
bad.
did that
Oh,
shit before too. I was walking down Springfield and I spit and it happened to be a car passing.
And you spit on the car.
And she was driving slow enough where it could have been taken as deliberate. Like I timed my spit to hit the car.
Yeah.
So, she stopped and said what she said. I wiped it off.
But if you deliberately spit on me,
Oh no, yeah. It's
I'm gonna die trying to kill you.
yeah, it's clobbering time.
yeah.
Yeah. But I feel the appropriate amount of sympathy for all the victims of these shootings, but I can't help but ask, is the powers that be and the hand that's on the button showing? Because when the last time you seen somebody get dragged off an airplane?
I guess what I don't understand
Mm-hmm.
is you being from very near to the Douglas community, like I feel like you're being kind of insensitive, but at the same time, I feel like you're like most Americans. You're just tired of this bullshit. It just keeps happening. It keeps happening, and it needs to stop.
I'm getting tired of weaponizing our tragedies. That's what I'm getting tired of.
So you think people are getting shot to keep guns legal?
No. I think people are getting shot because motherfuckers are shooting them. But I think when these tragedies happen, we see mainstream media and presidential hopefuls weaponize it and turn it into something else to work an agenda. Instead of trying to figure out the root of the problem,
Yeah.
you just want to say, oh, let's bring in this legislation because if I do this, I'll be president.
Yeah.
Or I'll have the highest ratings for the week.
That's so selfish.
Yeah.
That's that individualism.
And that's what pisses me off. And that's why I come off as non-sympathetic. Oh, I'm absolutely sympathetic. But the fucking the sting in the back of my neck when I think about what's really going on, that's what turns it into that for me.
And it's all a conspiracy theory. It's like it could be really going on or it could not be really going on. You know what I'm saying?
And the fact that nobody is going and laying the facts straight makes me lean towards yes, this
Yes, it
is going on.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, man.